When your dog is a puppy, hi Wiley, this is going to be the fastest time and the most growth they're going to have ever in their entire life. Meaning this video is for you because I'm going to be sharing 10 useful facts all about puppies. So let's just jump into this video right now. At minimum, I recommend to either use, if you can't work with them, a slow feeder for a dog bowl or something like these Licky Mats, which I'm obsessed with, where you can take their food and if you're feeding a dry food, you could put their pieces of kibble in here and layer it with a little bit of raw, fresh goat milk, put this in the freezer, and then they're gonna have to work to lick out their meal. This is gonna be a great way to mentally tire them. Or if you're feeding a raw, fresh food diet or a wet diet, you could smear that in here while it's defrosted, put this in the freezer, and then feed it to them. Oh, look at this, Wally. And then they have to work at it. Using something like this, guys, is amazing because first off, this is silicone free. It's made with food grade rubber. I know, he's so excited about it. And using their tongue and actually licking to release the food is extremely soothing for a dog. It helps reduce anxiety, it helps reduce stress and boredom. So at minimum, if you're not gonna be able to work with them during mealtime, I do recommend one of these. Another fun one that we love doing during mealtime is you could take a muffin tin. Come on here, place. Yes, good boy. And you could take some of their treats or a portion of their food, put them in each hole of the muffin tin, then take some of their toys and put on top of each hole. So the puppy has to go dig out the treats or food from under their toys, and it can really tire a dog really quickly. And speaking of tired puppies, did you know that puppies, especially young ones, can sleep upwards of 15 to 20 hours a day? And oftentimes people who have other dogs or they have really young children, you forget that puppies need nap times as well, and the puppies can get overstimulated, and that's when they can start acting out or having poor behavior, not listening as well because they're tired. So the crate that we use is the Diggs crate. If you guys have watched me for any length of time, you likely know that I am obsessed with Diggs crate. They're the most aesthetic crate, durable, functional, and versatile crate I've ever seen. And there are special codes and things like that linked for you down below if you're interested. This video is not sponsored by them, but I'm just obsessed with that product. What we would do is, because the crate has wheels, we would wheel it out to the living room or the dining room or wherever we were when he was really young. And anytime he fell asleep, which was pretty frequently, we would gently lift him up and set him inside the crate. In the very beginning, we wouldn't even shut the door. But what he eventually learned is when he was napping, he would nap in the crate. And eventually, over time, he would take himself to the crate and he would just lay down in the crate. And that was a portion, and that was a way that we crate trained him so quickly, was by making the crate an everyday normal part of our daily routine. Now, before I talk about my favorite specific food, treats, and chews for puppies, I want to talk about socialization because a lot of people are really confused about this. They know their puppy needs socialization, but their puppy may not have gotten all of their shots. But socialization is critical for puppies, and there are safe and really helpful, effective ways to do it. In fact, the most optimal time to socialize a puppy is before they're 14 to 16 weeks of age. Now, if you're watching this and your puppy is older than that, no worries, it's still not too late. But the way that I recommend to do that, especially if they haven't gotten all their shots, look at this. Wally brought over the lick mat that we were just talking about. This is a different type of lick mat. They have all different types. I do love the Tough Series ones for puppies that are gonna be a little bit larger size, like Wally. He's about 30 pounds. Here you go, it's not time for that. He loves them so much. But for socialization, the way that I look at socialization is giving your puppy or your dog new and novel experiences in a fairly controlled environment. And the best part about it is you can really socialize your puppy without ever really needing to leave your property, your front yard, your backyard, your sidewalk, or even your neighborhood. You can do all of this stuff and many of the socialization activities right at home. Now, I'm not gonna go over every technique to socialize your puppy at home or around your home and neighborhood. Come here, Wally, pop up, come over here. He's looking out the window like, ooh, what's out there? I do have a video linked up here and down below on step-by-step guide on how to do that. But I will say a really easy way to think about it is how can you add new and novel experiences from different scents, sounds, sights, smells in your home or even your front yard or backyard for your puppy. So a few easy examples. Your puppy's napping, that doesn't mean you go tiptoe around. Turn that vacuum on. Go maybe drop a spoon on the floor. If you're watching TV and there's fireworks on the TV or gunshots or something loud and different that they're not used to hearing, turn it up a little bit. Don't blare it, but turn it up so they actually hear it. And if they respond to it, if they look at it and kind of seem nervous, do not, I repeat, do not coddle them and go, oh my gosh, puppy, 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 I'm so sorry. Ignore it, act like nothing happens, and as soon as they look away from it and don't pay attention to it, that's when you go, yes, good boy, and play with them. If there's a thunderstorm, a rainstorm, or a gardener outside that's blowing leaves with the leaf blower and it's really loud and scary, go out in that backyard and play with your puppy around the noise and completely ignore it. And anytime they look at it and kind of look back at you, reward that. Don't reward them when they're paying attention to it. Reward them when they're paying attention to you. Take those brain games I talked about earlier or in my videos linked down below, or take mealtime out to the front yard or backyard, because what's gonna happen is, one of my favorite things we did with Wally is we would just take him on my mom's driveway before he got all of his shots, and we would work on the basic sits, downs, basic leash stuff, and feed him his meal on the driveway. That way we knew he was safe because he didn't have all his shots. But you know how many people walked by with their other dog, obviously at a safe distance. I'd never let them meet or connect. They'd be across the street. You know how many people walked by with their dog? Obviously they're far away, far across the street. They never met. Or rode by on a bike, or kids riding by on a skateboard, or cars driving by. All of those things, and working with your puppy and not reacting, are ways that you're socializing your puppy. Socialization to me never means taking your dog to a dog park or a puppy park and letting them go learn poor behavior from other dogs in an uncontrolled environment. To me, it's giving them opportunities to experience something new, be curious, maybe a little nervous, and then learn from you not reacting to it, and learning when nothing bad happens to them that it's not a big scary thing. This is a quick way to build your puppy's confidence and your bond between them, because they're going to be working with you and they learn, okay, when scary new things happen, when I'm with mom or dad, I look to them and they're not even paying attention to me, so it must not be a big deal. And when I don't pay attention to the loud scary noise or thing that just walked by, they reward me when I look at them. Also, did you know that when your dog is a puppy, hi Wiley, this is going to be the fastest time and the most growth they're going to have ever in their entire life? Meaning right now, up until they're 18 to 24 months old, they're never gonna grow and develop faster than right now. And what that means is working with them is critically important. And that also means that feeding them the right, most optimal, healthy food for their bodies is also the most important, in my opinion, because this is when they're developing, this is when they're setting up their foundation for the rest of their life. And that's why I feed my dogs, that's why we're feeding Wally a fresh food diet, meaning it's not processed, it's not full of carbohydrates, and it's not in the form of dried little pellets that can sit in a bag in a pet store on a shelf for months and months and even years at a time. I feed my dogs real meat, real crushed bone that's completely raw, never cooked, of course, real organ, real biologically appropriate food. And if you want to learn more about the specifics of what I feed, why I feed the way that I feed, click the video right here. Let's go jump over there and talk about that together. And if you want to see my favorite chew toys and shopping list for puppies, click the video right here. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.